everybody. Still haven't gotten a good haircut, so sorry about that. I will get one at some point in the next week or two. But for right now, I'm going to talk about something that came up in a group that I'm in. I'm in a group with my mentor. He's a cool guy, and he has people in the group helping them with their dating lives. And one of the guys had a situation where he, I won't say any identifying details. He had a girl over to his place. They went out on a date. First date went well, made out a little bit. Didn't go any further, and he was like, oh, let me see what happens on the second date. On the second date, they went to his place, and they made out a little bit, and then she suddenly said she had to go. And she was like, you know what, I gotta go, and I have some things to study, etc. I gotta go. And he's like, well, let me walk you out. She's like, no, that's okay. And he he went and he kissed her, and she had like a closed mouth. She wasn't into it. And he was posting there, but he's like, should I keep trying to see her? Should I be honest with her and be like, what's going on? Or like, what's the answer here? Like, cause she was really into me, and then she was at my place, and I've never had a girl at my place not want to escalate things and, have sex. And he was really confused and kind of hurt, understandably so. And, and he was like, has anybody else had this? What's going on? And I'll tell you a situation I've had. Met a girl here. We went nearby for some pho, some Vietnamese soup. I actually used to call it pho it's funny, I had a bet. Small aside, a friend and I, we were going out for pho, and she was like, hey, you want to go for pho? And I'm like, it's called pho. She's like, no, it's called pho. And I'm like, it's called pho. She's like, I will bet you $10 that it is called pho. Ask the waitress. And the waitress was Vietnamese, so she knew what she was talking about. I'm like, what do you call this? How do you pronounce this? And she's like, pho. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I paid her $10, and I was unfortunate. I was not happy about that at all. But anyway, went out for pho, went back to my place, and I didn't just take her to my place. I was like, hey, how about we go to my place? She's like, sure. So she was into me. We were making out, and she got a call. And she was like, okay, cool, I'll be over soon. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, it's like 6, maybe 6:30 p.m. She's like, yeah, my mom, she's going on a trip tomorrow. She really needs me to help her pack. I got to go home. And I'm like, oh, man, that's so disappointing. And she's like, yeah, I'll call you when I'm done, and we'll meet up. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, what time do you think she'll be done? And she's like, yeah, probably about 8. I'm like, okay. So I actually drive her home. She lives right close. And so she's home. And I let her go, and, around like 8:30 or 9, I was like, hey, your mom takes a long time to pack. Just kind of teasing, and no response. I could see it was delivered. And then a couple days later, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Did you not want to meet up again? Or, I don't want to waste your time or mine. Like, what's going on? I really liked you, really want to see you again. And she's no response. And I used to take this personally. That was later in my experience. This was only a few months ago. So I wasn't super worried about it because I'd had a lot of experience with girls, and I've seen this a lot. And from my understanding from conversations with girls, this happens. This is exactly why it happens. This will answer all your questions, and it's nothing you did. It could be something you did, but most likely it's nothing you did. If you were normal, or even if you were a little awkward or slightly pushy, it probably wasn't you. What happens is, I really wish girls were more honest and upfront with their language, and a lot of them are. But some girls either hear horror stories from their friends of guys who just wouldn't take no for an answer, or were too pushy, or they themselves have had experiences that scared them because they're alone with a guy that they haven't known for too long, and the guy, they said, no, I'm not interested, or just give me some time, or let's go slow, or whatever. And the guy doesn't hear them. So they have this image in their mind. If they don't know a guy and they say no, they don't know how he'll react. So I know a lot of girls, this does happen. They'll text their friends. They're like, hey, call me. I need an excuse to get out of here. And then their friend will call them, and then they'll go on the phone and be like, oh, damn. Oh, shit, I have to pick up my friend. It happens. Now, when that happens, I used to get bitter and angry about what happened with the girl. I used to get bitter and angry and be like, well, why didn't you just tell me? Why didn't you talk about me? Because then we could talk about it, and I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. It's got to be fun for both of us if we have sex. And although I quickly figured out that I have empathy and understanding for why girls think they have to do this, because I know that I'm only going to do something that we both like, but there are guys out there who will pressure girls. And now none of you, I'm sure, I mean, I will 100% be super sexual and like pretty intense with the girl who's into it. But if she's not into me, I am not going to in any way, shape, or form try to make her into me, because that's not even fun for me. I feel like shit if I make a girl do something she doesn't want to do. So I'm not that guy, but I know that there are those kind of guys out there. There are guys out there who don't really think about what girls want, and they might try to pressure a girl into doing something she doesn't want to do, and a girl doesn't know if you're that guy or not. I'm not saying overcompensate and try to make her extremely comfortable. I'm not saying I'm a feminist. I'm not. I don't like feminism. A lot of things I don't like about it. I'm not saying try to tone down your masculine qualities. None of that at all. I'm just saying, if this happens, have some understanding for what the girl's going through, because that will take away your bitterness and just give you some understanding about how girls interact and how girls react with guys. So the solution is, okay, she leaves, let her leave if she wants to leave, and then text her something like, hey, like, it seems like you're a little nervous or you weren't into me at the end. I don't want to waste each other's time. Like, I definitely want to see you again if you're down, but if you're not, can you just let me know so that we don't waste each other's time? You can say it, whatever words you want to say it, but just get those points across. And what that will do is that will I can't count how many girls I've said something like that to, and they've turned around and be like, yeah, I'm just nervous, I'm sorry, can we go a little slower? I'm like, yeah, like, it's gotta, if you don't want to do anything, please let me know, because I don't know, I'm not a mind reader. And I've gotten with a lot of girls because I decided to go around and be empathetic and be, let them know that I'm a guy who wants to have a lot of sex, really exciting experiences with them, but at the same time, I only want it if they want it. And once girls know that, they open up to you, and the sex is a lot better anyway. So I hope this gave you some clarity on something that might be going on in your dating life. By the way, I started my website, and I put a really awesome article up there I'm really fucking excited about. I wrote it last night, and it came, I was beaming at the end. I'm like, I have to share it with everybody. It's called The Truth Behind Just Be Yourself. And it talks about that advice that people give you about just be yourself. And I share exactly what the truth is behind it, because there's some truth and some not truth to it. So I break that down, give you some understanding about that to help you in your dating life, help you build a sex life you love. And anyway, till next time, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I am almost caught up. Really fucking excited about that. Bye.